You're so beautiful. Do you eat like Joey Chestnut and train hard but have stopped building muscle? Or are you trying to put on some muscle but having trouble breaking through a body weight plateau? Let's talk about it.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh.
Hardgainer is a term that's thrown around to describe folks who put in a substantial amount of effort but see little return on that effort. You're eating a lot, lifting often, and still see no or little results. Some of this could be due to genetics. We're born how we're born, there isn't much we can do to control that. But what we're going to focus on is what we can control. We're going to start with how new muscle is built in the first place. Muscle tissue is composed of muscle fiber, or myocytes. Myocytes are formed by myoblasts fusing together. Myoblasts are satellite cells that exist in muscle. When your muscles are stressed with intense exercise, they become damaged, and those satellite cells fuse together and to the muscle tissue in an effort to repair it. If this happens often enough, the muscle tissue will increase in size. Okay, so what does all that nerd shit mean? Basically, when you train hard enough, you stress your muscles into growing. The muscles repair itself with new cells, leading to hypertrophy. We're just scratching the surface though. If you train hard without eating enough of the right macros, the opposite effects can occur. Your muscle requires energy to train, and the primary source of that should be carbohydrates. Carbohydrates also give the muscle energy to begin and perform muscle protein synthesis. Where carbs give the muscle energy to perform, protein is what gives them the primary fuel to grow and repair. Muscle protein synthesis refers to that process where muscles use protein to grow and recover. What if we hit a body weight plateau? If you don't know what that is, basically it's where you've hit the point where you're no longer gaining weight. It's as simple as that. So what steps can we take right now? How do we break out of this plateau? Check out our Muscle Building 101 video and make sure that you're following these basic steps. Track your calories, eat in a surplus, follow progressive overload, and get a good night's sleep. But what if you're doing all of this already? Something in your formula is not working. So let's look at what you can try in order to break over that plateau. Synthesis costs energy. Protein synthesis may require over 400 extra calories per day in a muscular young male. So, sure, you're eating enough to cover your BMR and exercise, but are you in enough of a surplus to cover the cost of synthesis and other thermogenic activities? NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy used to do day-to-day tasks, not including exercise. A good overview is linked below for more. In fact, increasing NEAT is a good way to lose weight. Try bumping your calories and protein slightly. Give it a few weeks and bump it again. If you're not making gains after increasing your calories, then look at your training. For a beginner who's never touched a weight before, just looking at a dumbbell will cause muscle growth. But as your body adapts to that stimulus, you'll need to be more strategic in your approach. Tweaking your training program can be huge in helping you break your plateau. Say you've been doing 3x10 splits to train since you started, now you've stopped growing. Well, you could have adapted to that stimulus. Something as simple as adding an extra set to your exercises can have an impact. There are so many training programs, styles, and methods out there, it can make your head spin. If you're not looking to compete in bodybuilding, you just want to add muscle, then push-pull legs, 4x12 splits, or a full body program are all good ways to challenge yourself, and the typical 3x10 has been your staple. Featured writer Jared Faircloth wrote an article for our website called A Case for the Full Body Program, and goes over how training that way impacts muscle hypertrophy. The link is in our description, check it out for some insight. It's okay to go back to 3x10 if it makes sense. Give yourself several months of trying something new and wait to see how your body reacts to it. Remember that you're not going to see results in 3 weeks. Check this out. A good night's sleep without eating food can decrease protein synthesis by 15 to 30%. Eating after exercise allows muscle cells to maintain high energy and promotes protein synthesis. This doesn't mean eat before bed. We don't want to disrupt sleep, but it does mean to make sure you're eating enough after training to support synthesis and sleep. Caloric needs are personal. For me, I eat around 3,000 calories a day and about 220 grams of protein. Some would argue that's too much protein, but considering I run and weightlift, I need to make sure that two different systems have enough nutrients to support continued growth. Okay, to summarize, if you've hit a plateau, make sure you know what your rough BMR is. Then account for things like NEAT and exercise, and if you're not hitting that daily, up your calories. If that doesn't help, change the way that you're training and ensure that you're getting enough sleep. There's a lot more that we can get into, but that's going to do it for this one. If you got any value out of this video, let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all. Talk to you next time.